Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favorite Bring Me the Horizon songs. With their new album coming out soon and me feeling kind of mixed on the singles, I did want to talk about some songs of theirs from their albums that have been released. I don't talk about this band very much on the channel. I'm a newer fan of them overall, but I did want to say that my top 5 in this list are all songs that I really love, so I hope people aren't going to be like, why is this song only at number 4 or number 5, because they're all almost equal by the time you get to that point in the list. And another disclaimer, there's going to be no songs from their very first album or their third album. There is actually going to be a couple songs from Suicide Season. Don't expect anything from There's a Hell or Count Your Blessings. Just not really my style with any of those albums. So, with that being said, let's move on to the list with number 10. You could say Chelsea Smile's a bit childish in the opening lines, especially the I know something you don't know, but it's very catchy. I always sing along to those opening lines, or I guess like chant along. This song has some interesting things about it. It's got this energy that is just unmistakable, and then Ollie sounds really good because even in his higher like deathcore screams in the verse, it fits the rest of the energy going on very well. And I'm usually not a fan of the higher pitched kind of screams or the lower pitched. I actually mostly just like mid-range screams in my music. Like, I'm typically a bit picky when screams get too high or low pitched. And so with this song being kind of all over the place in his screaming range, you know, I do think they pulled that off pretty well. So I approve as somebody who usually doesn't like deathcore screams. There's the creative guitar riffs in the song that weave around the vocals really well. It's a really fun song. It's a long track. I do like the little sections that we get, like the quiet part in the bridge and how it leads into the last chorus and everything like that. It's just a pretty great song, and it definitely showed some promise for the band. This cut also happens to be off of Suicide Season. I can understand people not really liking the song and being confused why it's on the list, and you know, I never see the song really get attention, so I have no idea if anybody else even likes it, but I do see some really great things in this song, like the energetic, just monstrous guitar riff in the chorus. I just absolutely love it. I love the range of the guitar and just how that works with Oliver's kind of repetitive screaming. Because, I mean, the words "it was written in blood" and "like roses we blossom and die," those lines are repeated so much, but I think it works really well because it just kind of pounds it into your brain. It's a pounding kind of a song when it comes to the pace. And the dark, kind of creepy atmosphere of the song is really nice too. There are some softer moments, and the way that they work with all these kind of screaming vocals is actually pretty nice, the dynamic that's created there. Even though I can understand why some people wouldn't like it, I think it's pretty great. Talking about underrated songs, we have And the Snakes Start to Sing. This is from Sempiternal. It's also got kind of a creepy, soft verse, except for you have Ollie singing, kind of showing off a little bit of his low to mid register, just singing very quietly, very clean, you know. But then you have a lot of versatility with his voice because you hear him kind of scream a bit more as the song gets a little bit further, maybe in like the pre-chorus, I would say, and then the chorus comes again, and the instruments kind of explode a little bit, kind of in a power ballad way. You have the guitar riff going that is really catchy, and then you have Ollie just singing softly, you know, but somehow it all works. The build up to the choruses are just really great. So this song just has a lot to offer, and I do wish it got a little bit more attention because I don't hear very many people talk about this song. This song is proof that That's the Spirit still has some bite to it. Happy Song is a song that kind of embraces darkness, embraces everybody's messed up heads, you know, in their own way. You have a lot of ironic lines, you know, especially, but if we sing along a little louder to a happy song, we'll be just fine, or whatever it is. So I think that darkness is executed pretty well. It's definitely the heaviest song on That's the Spirit. There's a really unique structure with 2 verses appearing before the chorus, and then there's like another kind of mini verse after the first chorus before leading into the second chorus. It's just really nicely structured. The guitar riff throughout the verse is very sticky. All just kind of blends well with the rest of the production. And talking about the production, it's very beautifully polished while still retaining its heaviness and not losing any of the bite that it has. So I really respect it for that. The backup vocals add another layer of depth to the song because they're a little bit higher pitched and kind of nicely in the background. And then the synths and the bridge, they sound really nice. And then the breakdown that comes after it has some really awesome screaming from Ollie. It shows that he has not lost his scream whatsoever. This is a very symphonic song, and the string section is blended in with the rest of the instruments so well. It just sounds so beautiful. And I'd say without that string section, this song would not have even made the list. But True Friends is a really special song because it does have a lot of energy, but at the same time there's so much melody going on. You have Ollie belting some of his highest notes, C5 and D5 to be exact. The bridge is really nice because it's driven by this fast, infectious drumming. And then the lyrical sentiment is somewhat cliche with True Friends stab you in the front, but I actually like how it's communicated, and I think it's kind of cool that they didn't rhyme anything with front. It kind of like catches the listener off guard, and it's kind of nice. I kind of like the structure of it. This is eternal. Will we ever see the end? Now that we're in top 5 material, I'm gonna start acting a little bit more fangirlish just to warn you all. And coming in at the number 5 spot is Shadow Moses from Sempiternal. I love this song so much. The intro just creatively introduces the chorus melody and the vocals. There's of course that chanted backup vocals, "We're going nowhere." I love it so much. And then it just brilliantly launches into one of my favorite guitar riffs I've ever heard. And it's just so incredibly catchy. It's so well written. It's just like metalcore perfection pretty much. The verse has more of Ollie's pretty passionate screaming, and he's got this kind of higher pitch to his voice, but it's not too high pitched to where it's annoying. It's just right overall. The little breakdown thing that happens before the chorus with the pinch harmonics kind of happening and everything like that, that is one of my favorite moments in any Bring Me the Horizon song. And then the chorus is very infectious and very melodic. You might be wondering like why this didn't rank a little higher because of how I'm talking about it, and I will say that there is a downside to this song. In one of the last choruses, you have this little drum fill going on that sounds really nice, but then the downbeat that happens at the end is kind of delayed a little bit. And it kind of bugs the hell out of me to the point where this got kicked down from what probably would rank at like number 3. It's pretty much a masterpiece outside of that, and so I absolutely love this song, and it's definitely one of the best songs on Sempiternal. This is a pretty great opening song. The vocal samples in the beginning are a little bit different for the band, but they definitely work out very seamlessly and very well because of how well produced they are. The drumming is pretty amazing in the verse. I think it's something I've kind of overlooked for a little while, but as I listen closer, the drumming is kind of faint, but you hear the drumming getting kind of quicker and kind of building up just very gradually as the verse kind of goes into the pre-chorus. And it sounds so good. It just blends so well with everything else that's going on in the instrumentation. And the anthemic chorus is very melodic, yet very powerful in kind of a different way. It's pretty much the powerful kind of beauty in hard rock that I didn't think anybody else outside of Red, my favorite band, could even accomplish. So the fact that Bring Me the Horizon successfully taps into that with this song just gives it like a million respect points from me. I also love the lyrics in the second verse quite a bit because there's this theme of embracing darkness with like Ollie talking about selling his soul to the devil, but then he goes, "I thought I sold my soul, but he kept the receipt." And that's like a really interesting line that I really love, and it kind of shows a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and so I really like it for that. So you can drag me through hell. This production here is very chilled out and follow you. It has this smooth kind of guitar lick leading the verse. And it's so calming, it's so vibey sounding, and just beautiful. I adore it so much. The 2 octaves going on in the pre-chorus and the vocals are a really nice touch, and you kind of have to listen for the upper octave to be heard, but it's definitely there. And it leads quickly into the chorus, kind of suddenly almost, where Ollie starts belting more. There's just those soaring vocals from him, and there's more present drumming in the chorus, and everything else gets a little bit more energetic too. But all in all, this is definitely a ballad. I would not even call it a power ballad. It's mellow enough to just be considered a soft love song. And Bring Me the Horizon is more than believable in that department, and they just make me feel all the lyrics that are being sung. And not only are the lyrics such a mood, but the entire package is such a great time. And the song always puts me in the best mood ever. So that's why it ranks in the top 3. It's an absolutely beautiful track. The song that introduced me to the band still has the catchiest main synth line I've ever heard in anything ever, which is the main reason it's ranking this high. Ollie's screaming mixed in with the very soft verse is such a great contrast. The vocals and the instruments complement each other so well, even though they're so different from each other. The way that the verses build up to each explosion that is and then the chorus, it's just priceless. And I'd say that it's well written in every way, and it lays the groundwork for the masterpiece that was going to be That's the Spirit.
So don't tell me what I can't see, 'cause we both know it's you, not me. You don't want this.
The bass riff that echoes throughout the intro and the verse gives this song a bit of depth that immediately draws me in, and the calm guitar strumming in the verse leads to the huge chorus very well. Ollie's vocal performance is one of his best to date. I would say that since his voice is so clean here, I really like the rasp that he has, and the cleanness of his voice does not overpower the rasp either. The vocals at the end of the chorus are so catchy, one of the best things ever. And then the little bit of a bridge guitar solo is so incredibly fun and energetic. Not very heavy, but not very soft either. It's just kind of medium paced in a way, and I really like it for that. There's a nice balance of everything in this song. And then we get into the subject matter. The lyrics are very over the top, they're so dramatic, and they honestly kind of make me laugh in spots, especially in the second verse where Ollie just goes, "'Cause I can't take another second, you're a headache." I can't do it. I think the song just has the right amount of animosity in the lyrics without being too grating or annoying, and then it just has the right amount of personality and kind of charm in a way. That might be kind of twisted to call these lyrics charming, especially considering what Ollie says in the bridge, but I do not take that seriously very much, and if you've heard the song, you'll see why I do not take these words very seriously. And so it's just an absolute fun, entertaining, energetic rock song. That is my list for my top 10 favorite Bring Me the Horizon songs. If you want to leave your top 10 down in the comments, that would be really nice and appreciated. I want to hear what you thought about my list. I hope you really liked this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
And you'll see when you believe.
It doesn't overpower the cleanness of his voice and the cleanness of it. Oh my god.